So this year, my New Year's resolution was to actually go on stage and perform magic in front of people. And by February, I'd actually already hit that goal. I thought it would take me a lot longer to sort of build myself up to actually do that. I did it a few times and actually I've kept on doing it. And I sort of built this channel to kind of document my journey and hopefully encourage other people to go out and perform. So since then, I've still performed at least like once a week on stage to people usually, and even started performing magic to more and more people. So I'm going to document sort of 5 lessons I've learned to perform in front of people to hopefully encourage you all to do the same. Now, if you're a pro level expert that's been doing this for years, performing in front of people, probably not the best video, but please let me know if there's stuff that I've gotten wrong or that I need to learn as well. But my whole goal of this is to hopefully encourage more people to perform magic. And I'd say the first lesson that I learned was really the hardest part is just sort of psyching yourself up to go do it. And what I kind of linking this to is I love going to concerts. It's always been sort of something I've done since I was 18 basically. And there were a few times where I didn't have somebody to go to a show with. And then I was faced with the decision, well, do I want to go to this show alone? Is that going to be fun? Are people going to look at me weird? And you sort of psych yourself in your head of doing all this. And then you go to the concert by yourself, and I had a great time. I sort of liken it to performing, right? Like the hardest part is just getting yourself out of your comfort zone and just doing it. Because each time I have left to go perform magic, I've not regretted doing it. And that's something that hopefully can just sink in because you're so much in your head about things, worrying about what can go wrong, worrying about how you're going to look, how people are going to think about you, and just all this stuff. And you're like, well, it's so much easier just to stay at home and perform for yourself, practice, watch a tutorial, watch YouTube, do whatever. But if you can push yourself sort of out of that zone and just go do it, you're not going to regret it. And that's sort of like the hardest part is just pushing over those mental blocks that says, no, it's going to be too uncomfortable. I'm going to be too nervous. It's going to be terrible. Nobody wants to see this. And we are like our own worst enemies sometimes. So if you have like any thought that, hey, I want to actually go out and perform in front of people, it could be anything. It could be going out on stage. It could be just walking up to a stranger somewhere or even like a coworker or something else. Like the hardest part is just doing it. And I still like my whole thing is I typically go to open mic nights and doing that stuff, but I've also walked up to strangers, asked them if they wanted to see a trick. Like that's just it's just so hard to actually get to that step to do it. But you gotta, like, push past everything negative that says, "No," does your body basically tells you, "No, I'm uncomfortable doing this. This is not a good idea. What are we doing?" And you have to go push past that and actually just sort of put yourself out there, make yourself uncomfortable. Like, you're gonna be a better person because of it, really. Like, it's only gonna be a good thing. And what's the number one fear probably preventing people from performing magic or doing anything? What if you mess up? Right? That's what I think everybody's worried about more than anything. It's why we practice so much. It's why we do everything. What if we mess up? And my answer to that is very simply like the next lesson I've learned. What if you mess up? You're the only one who knows, right? You're the only one who knows. Think about times where things could go wrong in tricks and have an answer for it ahead of time, right? Like it's to already have in your mind a game plan of, okay, what could go wrong here? How could I fix it? And like really have an out for everything you're doing and think about that. Plan for that beforehand. That's going to make you so much more comfortable to where if something does go wrong, which like stuff will go wrong, but it's not going to be probably sort of what you think, but which will be a lesson that I have here in a second. But it's really you're the only one who knows. Like unless you're performing in front of a bunch of magicians, which I have, which is kind of crazy. Like well, I ended up joining going to local IBM ring meetings to to learn things, run stuff by, run routines by, get advice, do sort of that. Like to me, that was more worrisome than anything else because you're like, okay, well, these people know sort of what these things are happening because I'm not doing anything like super crazy that I made myself or anything. But it's just good to kind of get tips. But even then, like if you mess up, then like they don't care. Like they're not gonna judge you. Uh, at least not the one I go to. But even like in real life, you're performing to people, nobody knows where you're going. Only you do. If you mess something up and you have to redo it, make it as part of a gag. Like really, I guess sort of a bonus lesson is like don't be afraid to improv, right? Like that's so big. Like I think scripting what you want to say for things is definitely important. Um it's helped me, like, I've realized, like, if I write down sort of what I wanna say, what I want my sort of routine to be, and then practice that, I definitely feel a little bit more comfortable, but I'm not afraid to at any second, if somebody makes a comment or there's something going on or something has happened in the night or something just like don't be so rigid to the script that you miss out on other moments because it's the scripting is kind of there to make you more comfortable, but I think improving is so big because what if you do mess up a part and you didn't script that? Well, I didn't script to mess up obviously, but make a funny comment, turn it into a joke. Just say that's what I've done. I've messed things up and then turned it into a joke and say, well, of course that wouldn't work. So let's go try this again or something like that. Like even just that, people might think, oh, that's just part of the thing. I've messed up and then asked people if they knew I messed up because I want to know, like, did you notice I messed anything up during my act? They said no, I didn't realize it. They would be like, well, I thought one thing was there, but then you sort of just like kept going with it. I was like, wait, what was it messed up? Like, was it supposed to happen? And I've actually like sort of kept like times where I messed up and like sort of like, hey, this might be kind of funny to sort of keep in because even if nobody knows, it can add to the gag and do all that. So, I mean, I guess if you're, like, looking for an example, there's, like, a packet trick that I do where with the 4 aces, well, spin doctor. I love that one, but trying to learn packet tricks and then remembering everything, sometimes you can mess up steps, but nobody knows where it's going. I actually had somebody one time because the thing is like the ace one of the aces vanish, from the hands, and the person turned over the card early, and they were like, "Well, there's nothing here." And I was like, "What? There's nothing there? Are you kidding me?" And then I was like, "Wait a minute." So then I like shook because I only had three, and then four. The fourth ace appeared over here, and like it's supposed to be, you're supposed to like build up towards that moment, but instead, if they turned it over early, I was like, "Oh, you fell right into my trap. You're right. There was none there, but there's three here. So then that means, oh yeah, okay, now we have the four over here, which wasn't even the part anyways because there's more to that trick where all the aces change colors that nobody sees coming, which is the best part. And you just sort of roll with it, right? Like when things happen, if whether it be somebody doing something, it's another lesson learned, but which we'll get into, but it's sort of like that is just so big. Only you know you mess up. That is probably the biggest fear that prevents people from performing is they're worried about messing up. They're worried about being called out. I've never been called out for doing anything, but it's like what if they do? Like have a plan for it. Have something in mind if it happens. But most of the time it doesn't happen. We just get so into our head with it. And then to go along with it, I'd say the next lesson learned practicing is great. Performing is the best practice you're going to get. I can't tell you how many times that I've messed up something simple. I never thought I would mess up performing live when practicing and realizing, okay, apparently I need to spend more time on this little part because I drew a blank live or whatever. But you just sort of keep going or you have that in mind like, oh, okay, well, I can take it this direction because you practice the tricks so much. You should have like other ideas for how to do things, but you're not going to know sort of how everything goes until you perform it live. So many people think, oh, I have to be perfect with magic before performing. It has to be perfect. What is perfect? Nobody knows. And if you're striving for perfection, you're never going to want to perform. So I'd say like if you've practiced it for a while, like you're good to go. There's a YouTube channel that I've been watching. I think it's called The Other Shuffle. Where it's him and then Fred, the underperforming hobbyist. they had a challenge going on where he has to perform magic live to somebody by the end of the summer, and he has to video it and do all this. And he's never performed for strangers or walked up to somebody or do this. And there's like certain parameters with it, but it was funny because he had a video with Kobe Wilson the other week, and it was like the stuff he was doing. He was like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I'm like, man, you're like some of the card slides that he's doing and what he knows is like, yeah, you are more than capable of performing. But I think we just get so in our head of like, well, what if something happens? Or practicing is great. You'll really learn what you need to work on when you actually perform for people. That's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, and it's why I'm really happy to go out there and keep performing. It's why I want to perform, because that's the only way things are going to get better, is by actually performing for people. It's like, okay, great. I've practiced this a bunch. I think I know the routine. I think it'd be good. And then if you just move on to the next trick and you never look at it again, you never perform it, you don't know sort of what areas need to be improved, what you sort of need to work on. Performing is the best practice. Like if you feel comfortable enough that you know the moves, you have your script down, you're like, I know what I'm doing. I think it looks good. Just go do it. Of course, if this is all if you want to, but that's the biggest thing. And I think another worry is, what if nobody wants to watch me perform? Right? What if nobody wants to see magic? What if I go up and talk to somebody and they say, no, I'm not interested? It's like, okay, that's fine. But another lesson I've learned, majority of the people want to see magic. Why? Because they don't get to see magic. And, I see it more and more now that I've been doing this more and it's what I watch a bunch. But when I think back to my life, how many times have I been just like cold approached by somebody and say, hey, do you want to see a magic trick? I don't think ever. I don't. I had a buddy who used to do card tricks who showed me, and I loved it. That's sort of like what kind of started me kind of thinking like, okay, well, if I never knew he did this, but apparently he started learning, so maybe I can learn too. And so sort of started with it. And it's like most people will want to see magic. And like I mentioned, I go to a bunch of open mic nights. That's sort of what I do. I've never been paid to perform. I'm just trying to get practice out there performing, get more comfortable being in front of people and performing. And here's the thing that I'll say: if you do want to perform at open mic nights, just don't be intimidated and go there and do it, because I guarantee you a lot of times there will not be a magician. They will probably have never seen magic before, and you are going to be put on a high pedestal that you probably don't even deserve. And that's sort of like the way it is. The open mic nights I've been to most of the time, like, some of them may be specifically tailored for music. And that seems to be like what a lot of them are. Sometimes you'll have like a comedy or stand up open mic night. I've been to some of those. But usually what I'll do is just ask the people at the place beforehand or ask the host like the night of. I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to sing. I want to do like a bit of magic. And that, like, is that fine? And I've never been told no. One time, because I think a lot of people like that's the thing, that they want music. But the first time I did it at this one place, I was like, hey, I want to do some magic and stuff up there. He's like, dude, that's awesome. Please do it. Please do it. And then so I get done with the set, and it was one of the best moments, and I'll never forget it, right? Like, getting people's attention, especially at open mic nights, you got people performing just sort of in the background. I remember there was a couple that was like walking out right when I was about to start. They literally stopped leaving and then sat down and watched me perform. Which, like, if you could stop somebody like in their tracks, be like, yeah, I want to see this. Like, that's like awesome. And everybody was like super into it, and they were like, that was awesome. We've never seen anything like that. And I'm just doing like basic stuff too, like nothing like, grand illusions or anything, but they're like, it was such a great change of pace because we've heard nothing but music, and have somebody do something different. Like, that's what we want to see. And they loved it. And it's been the same at like a lot of other places that I do the open mic nights now. Like, I still go back there and do different things. Sometimes do some of the same stuff just to keep try to, repetition, getting on stage just in front of people, just performing live. Like, that's my whole goal with it. But and there was another one, another open mic night host. It's like typically it's music. That's what the host does too. They perform. And I was like, hey, is it just music or like this is like well, magic? He's like, man, if you're good at it, hey, do it. Go ahead. And uh they ended up loving it as well. And one of the places, like even the people that worked there was like, thank you for doing magic. That was awesome. And I think like that's the thing to push past where people are like, are do people want to see magic? What if they say no? What if nobody cares? And my whole thing was like, if I can at least make one person laugh, put a smile on one person's face, entertain them at all, like I've done my job. I've put myself out there. I've done it. And it's like think about all the times people haven't done that. People are too afraid to put themselves out there. Like you're already better than them. It's like the same thing. Like if somebody is never putting themselves out there, never pursuing what they want, and you are willing to do that, even if like you think it's bad or whatever, like you're still a step ahead. Like I will never make fun of anybody who wants to go on stage or do anything because that's what these things are for, right? Like everybody started somewhere. Nobody starts out perfect. Do that. People want to see magic because they don't see it all the time. And it's one of the funny things that I have to tell myself when performing, which maybe this is another lesson learned, where it's like I'm used to these tricks so much that I have to like think to myself, which is one of the things I want to work on, which maybe I can do a video of what I want to improve on, but it's sort of like slowing down, letting the moment sort of happen because I'm like, for instance, I do a professor's nightmare routine, like I'm sure a lot of people do. And when the ropes change, to me, like I've seen it a bunch. It's cool. It's neat. But to these people, they may have never seen that before. And if you're rushing through it and you're not letting the moment sink in, like, wait, those ropes were 3 different times. And I cut into the ropes with Slidini's rope routine usually with it. And so it just trying to pause for the effect so people are like, I see it all the time. Or I will have a dollar bill or some form of money, and then I'll pull a napkin out of it. We'll wrap it, pull a napkin out, and to me, that's like, okay, now we can move on to the next part. But if people are like, wait, you just showed that dollar bill from both sides, and now you're pulling a napkin out of it to go into the next trick. Like, where the hell did the napkin come from? And I usually I can catch myself just being like, "Oh, we're gonna rush on through it." But anyway, that's not what this is about. But either way, people want to see magic. That's the point. And I told you my goal was if I can put a smile on somebody's face, entertain them for a little bit. That's the number one goal. And the number one lesson I've learned is nothing beats that feeling where you're up there, you're entertaining people and they're laughing, they're enjoying it. Somebody comes up to you afterwards and says that you did an awesome job, great job. I really enjoyed it. That is like the best feeling in the world. It is awesome. I one of the coolest things that I can remember when I performed at a place, it was a group of it was a family there. And the minute I said that, I'm a magician, we're gonna do magic, well, that like they all paid attention. And usually, what I'll do is sometimes I'll have a spectator up there when I do the rope routine to cut the rope for me and have stuff happen in their hands and do all this. And at the end, I you will typically give the ropes away because I just use cheap hardware store rope to do to practice on because it's cheap and I will just give it away and do all that because I do a bunch of cutting with it. And so, if I was making money, that'd be different. But again, I'm just doing this for fun. So I gave the ropes away, and then afterwards, like I could see like the kids playing with it, and they're like, "Look, it turned equal," and like doing all this, and like to see the joy on their face and to do all that, like that to me is what magic is all about and what the whole goal should be. So I encourage everybody. if you do not perform a bunch and you want to, if there is any thought of, I want to perform for somebody, do it. Because I am living proof here that with practice and with everything, because I have no experience, no stage experience, no stand up experience, just practiced magic, decided I want to share this with people and I want to put a smile on their face. And ultimately that's what we did. And I want you all to spread the love to people too and put a smile on somebody's face by doing a magic trick, because I think most people want to see magic, they just don't know they want to see magic because nobody does it. And don't be afraid to share that with people, because if I can do it, literally anybody can do it. So please let me know your stories. Let me know lessons you learned if you perform on stage to get things right. Is there like, Bo buddy, you're in for a rude awakening in the future? Let me know. If you want to see my first ever performances, you can click or tap the screen now. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.